What's up MMO fans, XMMORPG here bringing you our latest video preview, this time for the upcoming turn-based strategy title from Area Games, Ecol Tactics Online. Borrowing elements from time-tested games throughout history, Ecol Tactics Online provides players with an in-depth approach to strategy gameplay, and as you can see, a nice colourful anime twist to the character design and world layout. The game boasts quite a number of defining aspects. It's got some of the best quest dialogue I've ever seen. It's humorous, it's funny and sarcastic. It still manages to portray a really quite an in-depth story without going so epic that it becomes a bit sickening after a while. So that's a really nice mixture they've got. This is the starting town you're seeing here. Typical districts, go here, grab quests. Nothing especially out of the ordinary there, but it works. We'll move on to the more exciting aspect of mercenaries now. Mercenaries are the units that will accompany you in battle. They are the guys you use to help you fight everything. They come in various shapes and sizes. As you can see here, there are 3 different types of board: general, advanced and special. Each takes different types of currency. The first 2 are gold, the last one is a premium item, and these unlock random mercenaries based on a card system. Now, this is a really cool system because it's once you pick a mercenary, the board resets. So do you gamble and try and get one a little bit better, or is it a waste of money and you stick with something safe? You can get some popular characters when the game come up. You can get some high level masters, which are basically like subclasses of a particular class, so they add a lot of variety and a lot of different abilities and skills. As you can see, a separate class, obviously you've got mage, fighter, ranger and cleric, all of which do follow typical MMO archetypes, so there's nothing new there, but they do come across as quite individual, as different ones have different abilities, they have different appearances, they have different stats. So we could both have an archer at level 8 and yours could have a different skill to mine, whereas mine's got a higher move ability than yours. So it is worth going in and sort of customising your merc squad to how you'd like to play. You like to hit and run, you'd like to just go up and get right in their face and kill them as quickly as possible. So there's lots of little choices and variations you can make within your particular team build, which is obviously quite cool for a game that boasts PvP and obviously lots of players. As well as the mercenaries themselves, we'll see you've got your main character. You create them at game launch as you would expect. Sort of limited customization options at the moment, but it is closed beta, so there is a lot to be added to it, stuff like that. Your guy's a captain. He's not a typical class like the others. You can switch out his class depending on the weapon he's using. As you can see, I'm using a sword there, so I'm the warrior type, whereas if I put a bow on, I become an archer. If I put on a stick, I become a mage. They're all there. You can see all the stats of your different mercenaries. You can level them up. You can equip different items to yourself. There's also a crafting system, but it's extremely basic. You know, it's pretty much what you'd expect from any basic crafting system. It includes what you need. But yes, it's really good to be able to switch your class out and sort of change your guide to adapt to your mercenaries, or adapt your mercenaries to support your main character. There's a whole ton of options, and this is only me at level 10, so these just keep expanding as you go through the game. Before we move on to the real beef that is combat, the map system is quite unique. As you can see here, you don't go exploring zone to zone in typical fashion. You just pick your zone and load in. Sometimes you'll have story zones where you see the exclamation mark there, that's a quest. Other zones you can see have master these, where you go in outside of a quest and just explore that particular area, which is basically just go in and fight. There's 2 to 3 levels so far, easy, normal and hard, each of which have different types of enemies, different types of rewards. Sometimes you can get ambushed, like extra enemies turn up and stuff, which makes things quite difficult. You do get rewards, a hidden zone, as you can see at the bottom there, if you master all the areas. Obviously I haven't done it yet because I'm not at the right level, but it'd be interesting to see what that includes when I do finally get there. Regardless of what features the game boasts, if the combat system is rubbish, most people won't bother to play it. Luckily, Ecol Tactics Online delivers, and then some. It really brings turn-based strategy elements from games like Final Fantasy Tactics and the Banner Saga, and brings them into a browser experience that's free. You know, it's free, so that's always a good thing, right? As you can see here, you place your mercenaries down at the start of each fight. I usually rock 2 archers and the 2 sword guys. I don't really see the need for healing yet, but I'm sure that will come into it later in the game. It's typical sort of turn-based stuff. You can choose to move, you can choose to wait, you can use an item, or you can use an ability. Obviously different units can move different amounts, they do different damage, they have different defenses, all that kind of stuff. So it's all what you'd expect from a turn-based game, but it's the package it's delivered in that makes it so unique. Now this is a very basic fight, so I couldn't really demonstrate the full awesomeness of the combat system, if you like, because it's very simple. I didn't have to worry about where I was putting my guys too much. I didn't have to worry about if I exposed my back. And obviously you do additional damage and take additional damage if you're attacked from the rear or the sides. so you do have to be cautious where you leave your guys and how you attack the enemies depending on the type of enemies you're against. As I said, these guys are pretty much a 2-hit kill, so they're not all that much to worry about. As you've probably noticed, there are some alignment issues with some of the text and that kind of stuff. It is only a closed beta at the minute, and we do have some beta keys to give away, so if you keep watching, we'll let you know at the end of the video. I'll just sort of walk this through as we go through. It is pretty slow, it's hard to fill the gaps when it's just sort of waiting for the enemies to take their turn. The combat animations, again, I don't have many abilities. I didn't want to show you the starting cutscene because it would ruin it a little bit, but the starting cutscene demonstrates some of these skill animations that you get access to later in the game, and they are really good quality. For, you look at the game, the graphics aren't amazing, they're really good in terms of the style they go for, but the combat animations are really good when you get a bit further into the game, so don't judge it too much just on this. Another really unique aspect I like is the formation system. I do pull it off a couple of times here in the video, and it's basically depending on types of classes, they work well together. So as you can see there, just there, the archer support combo went off because I had an archer and another archer in certain proximity to each other and attacked an enemy whilst facing a certain direction. Now that works with 2 or 3 characters in a row, so you can do a knockback. It works with 2 warriors on a front and rear attacks. You can do like a double assault. These aren't listed anywhere, you have to figure these out for yourself, which is a really great way of sort of accomplishing something in battle. You figure out a new combo that really helps you out, or you manage to finish off an enemy just at the last ditch effort just because you've figured out this new tactic. It's really quite a unique system, I do enjoy it. I'm not sure how many there are, obviously the classes are limited, but I do hope they do cross class. So far I've only seen it where 2 archers help, 2 warriors help, and then 3 characters help, and the 3 characters can be any class, but it's only the front one that does any damage. Sadly, I couldn't get in this one because they're all too far away, but I will show you another video with our full review when it comes out. The game is scheduled to release on March the 7th, I think the beta starts, so only a couple of days away. As I said, we have got some beta keys, so if you want to check the description below, you will see the link to the beta keys. We've got tons, we've got 1,000 closed beta keys to give away, so there's going to be plenty left if you want to get involved. I guess I will leave you with the final remnants of the combat system. Give the game a shot if you're anything into turn-based strategy whatsoever. You have to try it. I don't usually beef up free-to-play games. There's so many of them nowadays, they just fail to deliver. But Ecol Tactics Online, try something new with the story. The dialogue is really interesting. The story's really intriguing. The combat's great. I mean, obviously there are some areas they could improve. They could beef up on the crafting system a little bit. I would like to see some more variety in the crafting system, but it's okay as it stands. The PvP hasn't been implemented yet, so I can't talk about that, but if older turn-based strategy games are anything to go by, it's going to be about skill, about your ability, rather than just about having the best gear or farming the best raids over and over again. So it's a game that players that don't necessarily have the quick trigger finger to beat some of the more real-time combat systems, but those are a bit more of a tactical mind are going to be able to excel in this kind of game. So it's definitely worth a shot. There's a link in the description to the official site. There's a link in the description to xmmrpg.com. That's our MMO database that features over 500 unique games. So if Ecol Tactics isn't for you, there's plenty of others you can look at and check videos and screenshots and all that stuff. You can follow us on Facebook. Our Facebook users always find out about our giveaways before anyone else, and we do feature a lot of giveaways. We've currently got one for Ecol Tactics, we've got one coming up for Soul Guardian, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more on the way. If you want to see more from this game, if you have any questions, feel free to pop a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have fun watching the rest of the combat.